Hey guys, Josh, Happy Little Landscapes, back again today with a 16 by 20 inch canvas, black canvas. Used about 7 colors, used about 7 tools. If you want to learn how to paint this painting, stick around because we're going to be right back. But first, click that little subscribe button down there. Subscribe to my channel. Click the notifications bell so you get notified every time I make a new video and you won't miss out on one. And we're going to get rocking and rolling just like ho! Today we got the black Happy Little Landscape shirt on, and we're going to be going with sap green, dark sienna, phthalo green, alizarin crimson, Prussian blue, midnight black, and titanium white. We're also going to have 3 different size fan brushes, your Bob Ross 1-inch and 2-inch brush, Filbert brush, small palette knife or big palette knife, whichever is easier for you, and a little tiny liner brush is all we're going to need for today. So we're going to get straight at it. We're going to try to make this one under a half hour, because I got to go get ready for work. So we're going to take the alizarin crimson, just put it up here in our sky, just real messy, don't even really need to blend it in, and I know it's hard to see right now, but give me a second, I'm going to show you a cool trick, okay? We're going to go right into phthalo blue, maybe up here in the corner, maybe down underneath, just wherever. Shoot, you can put it down here too at the bottom. Let's do some of that. Put it down here at the bottom. Maybe a little bit of crimson with it, down at the bottom, all over here, doesn't matter. And then phthalo green, we're going to stick just anywhere, literally. Literally put it anywhere. It's going to look awesome when we do this little cloud technique, okay? Watch this. Since we just did our whole first video, and the damn microphone was off. This microphone! Something I always forget. Okay, so right now, I know it's hard to see. You can tell we're actually putting paint on the canvas, even though it's hard to see, okay? We've got phthalo green, alizarin crimson, Prussian blue, all throughout the canvas, all in random places. First covered our canvas with Bob Ross liquid clear, okay? Tiniest little amount you can use, and then take a paper towel and scrub the canvas real hard, okay? You don't need a lot of liquid clear. It's much more slippery than liquid white, all right? And here we're going to go into our titanium white, a little bit on our brush, and just come up and start making your cloud shapes. And you'll see that this white is going to mix with whatever you put on underneath, okay? So if you have the phthalo green, maybe the alizarin crimson, back in here, underneath, doesn't matter, all right? Like so. We just want to have our messy clouds. Okay, we're going to go back in with a dry brush. Got to be dry. And we're going to start mixing it up. And as we mix it, you can see all those colors start coming through from where we put our crimson and our green. And this is a cool trick when you're doing it, in front of your friends or your family. Don't show them that we put the green up there, right? Maybe a little bit too thick up here. Don't show them how you initially put the colors up. Just come back with your white and start mixing, and they'll go, well, how do you get all those colors on the canvas like that? Like, how is it do? It's magic. How's he doing that? How did she do that? Or he, or she, whatever. Doesn't matter. All right, just gonna mix it up, mix up our clouds, all crazily. You know how we like our clouds and our dramatic skies, all crazy like. Nice and soft. 2-inch brush, swipe up. Right? You shouldn't have any drag marks from your clouds. You want them nice and soft. And again, if you've done your job correctly, none of those colors are going to transfer back and forth because, again, it's real super soft. Okay, we're going to come back, grab our phthalo green and our titanium white. And we're going to come back in and just do these little curved shapes like Bob does his Aurora Borealis, right? We'll come back in. You want them nice and curved. All right, you can maybe come up here, curve it around, then we'll put our mountain, so don't worry about that. Take your 2-inch brush, grab it and lift it hard. Push in hard. You want it to drag up. Right? Drag up. You want it to lift and create this mist above it. Okay? And down here, drag it up. Across very lightly, across our whole thing, launch our canvas down. Okay, down here, don't have to worry about it. You can make it more into your fog. It's whole thing's going to be covered in fog, so don't even worry. And if you want more than one color in your lines, you can do a little bit of blue maybe. And come down. Not everywhere, just every so often. Again, take our brush and pull the blue down if you want, doesn't matter. Pull it down, swipe it up. Again, come across. Bam, just like that. Now we're going to go in, we're going to make up our mountain shape, which is our crimson, our black, and our blue, right? Get it down in here. We'll make 2 mountains in this one. Maybe, you know what, throw a little bit of brown in there too. Just give it a little change from our normal mountain color, right? A little bit of brown, come up in here, and just make our gigantic mountain. Right, all we're doing is just dropping paint on the canvas, getting a little line of it on our liner brush, and just dropping it in, right? Just scrape it all down, and we're only worried about the very top edge of the mountain. And maybe it comes over there. You can make it however you want it to look. But you want to have these imperfections in it. You don't want to have this straight line mountain. Right? Scrape off all this paint. Save it. Put it back over here. Grab our 1-inch brush. Grab, pull. Right? Do our little X patterns down at the bottom every so often. That's just blending it in to the fog underneath. Okay? Down. Again, you can see that's why we did our Aurora Borealis first. You don't want a couple bounce motions over here. You don't want to try to do that afterwards. It's never going to work. All right, pull your mountain down like that. Then we're going to do our fog, right? Mix it up, make it nice and soft. Nice and soft. Okay, take our 1-inch brush, kind of use all this, phthalo green kind of mixture for the shadows of our clouds. Instead of blue today, we'll use the phthalo green. Right, mix it with some little bit of white. Grab it, start pulling it down. Who knows, maybe it goes off that way. It comes around here. Got a little bit on that. And you can always go back and add more. But for right now, let's just make it look like that. And don't worry about what it looks like at the bottom. We're going to take all that and make some fog out of it, okay? Back straight into our liquid white. Maybe the touch, just the littlest touch of the phthalo blue. The Prussian blue. Okay. Set it up like that. Come back in again. Very lightly pull down, right? We're just kind of dropping this on. However it breaks is how it's going to break. Okay? Like so. Whenever you have a bit of shadow, you want to have a bit of light over the top of it. Okay? You don't want to mix it all up, right? Don't want to go over it too many times. Don't want to ruin our little shapes down here. Right? Maybe this bit of white, this ridge comes off. Maybe it goes that way, comes down. All these little light and shadowy colors are going to make it look like the light's reflecting from the sky onto our snow, right? A little bit of the straight up Prussian blue right in there wherever we want our shadows. You can come in, make them a little darker with our blue. Right? Like so. You can take a little bit of the black. You want some real dark, deep shadows. Do a little bit of the black. Right? Wherever you want. Just let it drag. Okay, put some of that bluish color down here, mix it with this white, literally just kind of smush it in. Smush some of that white on. And then we're going to take and swipe up. You can do this with your 1-inch or 2-inch brush. Swipe up in the direction that we put our snow on, right? And then come back in. You can go above your horizon line, it doesn't matter. And just remember, you don't want it straight across your mountain, this fog. It's going to come down, it's going to come up. Don't want it to be straight across. Okay? Mix it up like that. This whole thing's going to be covered in fog down here. Okay, we can come back in with our mountain mixture again. Maybe let's add just a little bit. Maybe we'll throw some green in there, mix it up, just so it's a different shade, right? You really want to mix it up. You don't want to have any green on the mountain, but you want to have, you want it to be a different color. Come in here, maybe we got this. It's much darker now. And we're going to stay along the edges of our shadows, right? Of our fog here. Don't want to come too much up into the fog. Don't want to have too much space. All right, we're just working on keeping that one little shape, the line of our mountain. Doesn't have to look just like mine. You know what I mean? Make it your own. You just want to have two bits of mountain in there. Should come up over here. Come up even higher over here. All right, we're just kind of smushing it in right now. Going to scrape away all that extra paint, otherwise you'll have too much. All right, scrape it all away. Don't have to go side to side, right? Because when we take this and blend it out, that's going to push us to the edge. All right, come down. Maybe this side goes this way. Maybe we come back. All up to you. However your mountain wants to lay itself, that's how you do it. All right, now we've got this bit of fog in between our mountain. We've got this other mountain ridge back here. It comes down this way. Totally up to you how you want to do it. Okay, again, we're going to make it nice and soft along the bottom just by making our fog. And you can see down here, now that we're starting to get some color down here, you can see these reds and greens and blues starting to pop up down here, okay? So again, we'll come back, get our white, get our phthalo green, make our shadows, make them significantly darker than the ones up here, okay? Again, we'll come back in the same way. You can throw some in there. Who knows, just anywhere, wherever you want. Make your mountain do whatever you want to do. Okay, maybe it comes down this way, curves around, got a little bit over here. This side's going to be in the shadow over here. So just however you want to do it. Okay, maybe they come down this way, like so. Just work at it until you like the way that it looks. Take our titanium white with the blue. And depending on how much you use of every color, and you can call this a psychedelic scene if you wanted to. Come in with our white like this. A whitish bluish mixture, right? Just so long as it's a different color from our shadows is all we want. All right, maybe this side goes that way, maybe it turns down. Totally up to you what you want your mountain to look like. All right, don't cover up all your shadows or your dark mountain color. Let some of that stuff break and come through. Like this. A little bit over here. I'm going to show you, you can do this. You guys can do it. You look at other paintings and you say, wow, I wish I could do it like that. You can do it. And you can do it quickly. Come off to the side. Leave a bit of those shadows in there. And come down. Come over here. Pull it down in opposite directions. Give it a cool kind of a look to it. Take our 2-inch brush. Just going to go the opposite way that we pulled it down, right? And all that's doing is just kind of flattening the paint, giving it this blurry look. Right, if you went over here, do it that way, over here, do it that way. And you can see we've left all this stuff down at the bottom of the canvas, these little brush marks. Okay, so we'll come in with our 2-inch brush or 1-inch brush, whatever you want. And we'll just start mixing up our fog. And again, leave some dark areas, leave some light areas, come up, come down. You don't want to have it perfect. Don't want to have a perfect straight line. All right, get up in there. Mix it all up. And the more we mix with this white, the more our fog's going to start to change colors because we put those extra colors down here, right? Make it real soft. Again, you don't want to cover up all the colors that we added down the bottom either, okay? And we'll come back in and make up some more of that tree color with our red, our blue, our black, our brown. Just mix it up. It's going to be real thick. All right. Just mix and mix and mix until you can't tell that it's any color other than this dark color. Let's grab the last bit of our white in here, kind of throw it in, brighten it up just a bit. Take our same fan brush that we haven't washed yet, right? Just kind of mix it into that. And then we'll come back in here and we'll start making some forest, okay? Make some forest down in there. Leave a couple blank spaces so we can fill in our trees where it's not so thick. And then we'll come over here from this side, and we're staying on the edge of our fog, right? Not going to have them all the same height. You want them a little bit different. Okay, all the way down to the bottom like this, right? Just very light, very messy. We're going to take our 1-inch brush. I'm going to swipe them up, and you can see how that kind of flattens them down. Even makes some of them a little bit darker. It goes straight up, okay? Just like that. Now we've got this forest down the bottom of our mountain, and we're at this different perspective than if you were to be lower on the water or something like that. Okay, all of our light's coming down this way, so we've got our shadows, we've got our dark areas. You can even take some of that more of that dark and darken spots up if you have them too bright. Right, just the littlest bit though, you don't want to do too much. The dark starts looking really good and then you end up doing too much of it and you wish you wouldn't have. Like that, just kind of out here. Should have done it before we did our trees, but it's no big deal. Swipe them in, swipe them up. However you put them down is how you want to swipe it, okay? And just very lightly, just kind of mix those. So you like the way that it looks. Right? You can always go back in if you cover up a bit of your trees down here and just make them a little bit more defined. Okay, now we got to decide where we're going to put our big trees. All right, let's get a lot of paint. Let's put one over here, not taller than the mountain. Come at it from the side just like this, using just the corner. This is where we use a lot of paint because we want it to be nice and sticky. We want it to stick to the canvas. And we just come all the way down. Stick to the canvas, okay? Let's grab a little bit of our white. Go in through here, just again, very messy, just kind of dropping on some white, and then we're going to mix it up. Our little circle motions, right? Take this, bring it up here. Set it down on our little lip. And then we'll just mix up this fog where it's nice and soft. Okay, in different elevations. You don't want it up too high. You don't want to be a straight line. Okay, now it's like we've got this fog kind of rolling through our painting here. Take some more of that color. Mix it all up, the green, a little bit of the brown, the blue, the black, until it's all this nice dark color, nice and thick. Yeah, come back over here. Here we've got like a little guy that lives off over here maybe. Come in, pushing up with just the corner of the brush, and then starting to rotate as you go down, make them nice and textured. Here, maybe we got a taller one. Come down through there. Now, when you're going over your thick bit of your paint, you need to thin it down. And when we put when we use liquid clear, you don't want to use paint thinner. So grab some more liquid clear. Right? And as you start coming down over this paint, it'll just glide right over it. If you start picking up too much of the white paint from underneath, and it just starts all mixing together, then you need to go back and change, add some more liquid white to it. Do it like that. We'll bring it down a little bit more, just into our fog. Again, rotating and pushing up at the same time, okay? Now let's bring it all the way off the canvas. Why not? Like that. And we'll do one more on this side, maybe a little bit taller than the tip top of our mountain. Okay. When it's this close to the side, some of it's going to be off the edge of the canvas, so don't worry. We're only going to be doing about half the tree over here. All right, like this. Again, we're just kind of rotating back and forth, making sure we got some sticky paint over here stuck to that canvas. Got our fog behind, got these trees in the front. As well do like one, maybe a medium-sized one over here, fill in this little gap. Up and down, back and forth, bam, bam, bam. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Click the little subscribe button down here, big red button says subscribe. Click the notifications bell so you'll be notified the next time that I do a painting, and it'll show up right up there for you. We'll add another little guy in here. Just a little thin guy, top of a tree. All right? Looking pretty good. Maybe a couple little bits down the bottom. Like these little trees are the very tip tops of some far off forest. All right, just like so. Take our stuff, scrape it all up. Might keep that, might hang on to it. Now we're going to get a big chunk of our liquid white, a little bit of our phthalo green, a little bit of our titanium white. I'm just going to mix them all up together so it's nice, goopy, runny bit of paint, okay? Real runny. We're not going to need a lot of highlights for this painting because it's nighttime. Okay, we're going to switch to our smaller fan brush than what we started with. Just getting a little bit in the bristles, don't need a whole lot of paint. And we might as well come up here and just doing the right side of the tree, okay? The left side's still going to be pretty dark, maybe a couple every so often. And all we're doing is just touching where those thick bits of tree are, the thick bits that are hanging off the canvas. And that's gonna, the liquid white is gonna stick to that, okay? So again, we've only done about half the tree. Do the whole tree, it's going to be too bright, so just very lightly. Very lightly. Okay, we can come down here. We make our bit a little bit wider at the top. And again, just doing about half of it. Don't want to do the whole thing. Before we get too far ahead, let's make up some tree trunk color. Again, don't need it to be too bright, right? You want it nice and dark brown. Come over and let's put our bits of tree trunk in here because we almost forgot. Pulling over to the side. Just slightly pull to the side. The further you get down, the more you can pull. Right? You don't want to have a huge thick tree trunk up the top. Go back in here, we can go over it again. Like that. And all we're doing is just looking for the little bit of tree trunk in there, just for your eye to say, oh yeah, that's what's kind of holding all that stuff up. Come in with this brush. And go like that. Just the corners again. You don't want to do, your whole bristles up near the top. It's not going to look right. When you start getting too much of that dark color in there, go back in with some new liquid white. You want this to be bright, right? With that phthalo green color. And again, we're just using the corner of the brush. The further and further we get down, the less we're going to highlight it, right? You just want to have that corner, the one side over here, nice and bright. Okay, just on the right side, that's where all of our light is coming from. So the further you get down the tree, the thicker it gets, so more light won't show through to the left, right? Again, just back and forth. The further you get down, the less you need. The less you need. Like that. Get these guys down here. A bit at the top like that, then we can come in. You want to leave some of that shadow in there. You don't want to get rid of your shadows, right? You have to have dark in order to have light. So, bam! Within a few minutes, we got a whole brand new painting, 2 mountain ranges, some Aurora Borealis, and then just for fun, let's throw our paint thinner all over our hands and table and everything else like an asshole. What happens when you try to rush? You rush through a painting. Our damn microphone didn't work last time. Luckily, I'll edit this all out and you guys won't see it. Alright, so with some of our liquid white and our phthalo green mixture, right, we're going to make some lightning. Just pick a bright spot of your cloud. Just kind of touch. Drag down, bam. Only need a little. Just like that. Don't want to have too much on your brush and you don't want to push too far in, it'll look too big, right? So just littlest bit. You don't want to have lightning in a straight line, obviously. That's not going to look realistic if lightning's in a straight line. And the lighter that you touch, the thinner your line will be, right? It'll have a nice point to it. You don't want to have too much pressure. You're going to have too much, your lightning will be too thick. And if you start running out to where you have to push in to make any shape, go back and get more. You've got all day. Unlike me, who has to go to work. Take this one, we can go over here. Get a little off that way, maybe it splits and comes over here like this. However you want to do it, you know what I mean? Just don't overdo it. It starts looking really cool and then you end up overdoing it with the lightning. So don't do that. And we'll clean our brushes. Again, if this video was helpful to you, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Take our Filbert brush, remember I told you we need a filbert? Just very lightly, with like 3 hairs. Okay, just blend in the bits to your bright cloud where you started. And that'll look like when the lightning kind of erupted, the whole cloud lit up just from this one little spot. Okay, just very lightly until you like the way that it looks. Just like that, within a few minutes, we've got a brand new painting. If you guys like this painting, it'll be available on my Etsy shop. The website is etsy.com/shop/happylandscapeart. You could buy paintings, you could buy stickers, you could buy t-shirts, you could buy the apron, which we didn't wear today, and luckily we didn't get anything all over our t-shirt. So many things, prints, t-shirts, all sorts of stuff. Pillows, decorative pillows, there's so many things I can't even think about it right now. So go to etsy.com/shop/happylandscapeart. Push that little subscribe button down here, okay? The more subscribers I have, the more videos I can bring you guys, okay? If this video was helpful to you, subscribe. Hit the little, bell, the little notification bell. That'll tell you every time I make a new painting, it will get it out there for you guys, okay? So again, this one we did real quickly. It turned out real good, I think. Turned out really good. A couple different mountains. Make that fog, make those trees. So again, available on Etsy. Buy the shirts, buy the apron, or follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/happylandscapeart. You can find me on Instagram @happylittlelandscapes, and on YouTube, obviously, click that subscribe button down there, and we'll see you guys on the next painting. I gotta go to work.